SsethTzeentach returns in Elin review. Taxation not optional. Trademark. Get into this, shall we?
Hey people, Seth here. I broke my microphone again. These lines come directly from a $10 webcam. Elin has
Nice.
reached early access. This is the equivalent of the CIA putting crack in black neighborhoods, but for the neurodivergent community.
no.
Elin is a game where I imprison the elderly, turn them into livestock, and have them lay eggs to make a new generation of senior citizen. Naturally,
sense.
every grandpa starts off as a baby, needs to be breastfed by other grandpas until they come of age, and fed a staple diet of pastured hay to grow old and brittle, at which point
There was, this is very funny, considering I just saw a tweet the other day that was like, but if women have eggs and birds lay eggs, does that mean women are birds? I've been thinking about this for the past week.
I mount them to a wheel of pain to generate electricity, so I can power my lights and watch Sailor Moon. I have a lack of beds, so there's a tower of pensioners stacked on top of each other every night. Each day, my population explodes, as a hot spring incubates faster than an actual womb. And each day,
Sure.
it contracts, as I put a for sale sticker on Grandpa's forehead. Legally, I have a license. Morally, I pay the church. In the same fashion as Bill Gates tortures his body double every day to evade karma, as long as I buy a letter of indulgence, I can sell 20 pensioners and still work off my karmic debt. I'm an
Okay.
upstanding citizen. They are untouchables, and I will not reincarnate into a water bug. But first, a message from our sponsor. At Raytheon, we don't just build missiles. We build memories. At Raytheon, we don't just neutralize civilians. We vaporize them. Raytheon. Because it's not just a forever war. It's a forever family. As the successor to Eloda, which I reviewed over 7
Wait. Okay, this is a 10 because I can't actually tell if it's part of the video or not. I can't tell if that's an actual genuine ad read or if this is a meme. I genuinely can't tell. Like, fact and fiction blend seamlessly in his videos.
years ago, Elin is a sandbox adventure like no other. Build a base, open your mailbox, receive spam in the form of a suicide bomber,
Makes
cultivate
sense.
3 billion crop strains for testosterone, open a tourist trap and scam them for terrible prices, deliver vomit and feces for children's birthdays, poison
Nice.
unsuspecting townsfolk, get engaged to your child bride, send her to be stoned at the gallows, pickpocket her engagement ring, marry a slime instead, play music, get shot dead because they didn't like your performance, bake bread by nuking raw flour, wish for a Glock 17, receive a railgun, read Goblin Smut to learn their weakness, throw your smut in the trash can and make the trash pregnant, punch
Nice.
a hermit crab for so long it levels up, enjoy hallucinations. Get cursed. Realize the cursed item you're wearing is made of food and eat it directly from your body. Get jumped by a pack of cows. Comply with their demands and brush their fur. Capture a bomb rock and host it as a parasite. Use its suicide attack to strip mine dungeons. Buy a tent. Use a paper material hammer to turn it into a portable pocket plane. Worship every god. Receive their apostles and artifacts. Abandon every single one of them. Roll a succubus and prostitution max your way to insane stats. Murder.
The chicken dislikes you. This game is this game is a game of all time, and I mean that in the best way. There is so much. I feel like this is in fact an example of one of those games where it's like, do what you want to do, right? Because there are games that advertise themselves like, do what you want, you know, when you want, right? And it's like, Todd, I can't necessarily in base Skyrim decide that I wish to ride a pig who shoots lasers out of his eyeballs and devours Alduin, and so he becomes Pig, Devourer of Worlds. I can't really do that. I'm sure there's some Skyrim mod that allows you to do that, but like, yeah, like this really feels like this game is modular. Like this game has a lot to it. Like, wow.
Someone's son in cold blood. Bake their meat into a rotisserie chicken. Shit out a dream larva and blend it into the food. Feed it to their parent and make them fall in love with you. Make everyone love you so hard you recruit the entire city. Turn the king into a broomstick and ride him as he calls me a fat ass and tells me to lose weight. Whip him until he turns to prostitution. Some may describe Elin as a bizarre Japanese fantasy where you enact outlandish policies such as human rights or a mandate for everyone to wear panties. But that's not fully accurate. It's about paying tax. The karmic weight of missing my monthly tax deadline is 40 times more serious than unloading an assault rifle on a homeless beggar. This is a fantasy. Funded by the IRS and TurboTax. On being asked his intentions for the game, Noah, the developer, had this to say. I simulate Tokyo Sarima, you make no money because everybody live to 110 year old. And then you take your own life.
Yeah.
Game costs $20, real good.
You know what? $20? That's kind of a solid price, actually.
Game costs $20, real good. You could be a chaos gene stealer with more hands than limbs. We don't care. Pay the state or suffer the consequences. This game's entire premise is about you getting suckered into owning land by 2 contract killers. Then sucker someone else into $20 million in debt for that same property.
Why do I feel like this is timeshare logic? This is timeshare logic. The scheme is going to end up being very triangle shaped. I feel like there's a word for that.
There's intrigue, politics, and lore, which you can ignore entirely as you read everyone's death log, which moves very quickly and contains a lot of slurs, most of them from me. But I prefer this multiplayer, as taking the Moongate to visit a random Japanese base will instantly depress me, as I see his beautiful creation, and compare it to my own O-block ghetto favela. You can even put custom sprites. Half the time, this is animated smut. This is preferable to getting one-shot by a death trap the instant you spawn in, or seeing a Boeing 767 approaching 2 skyscrapers, or loading into Outer Epstein, which has a one-tile entrance that takes off your clothes. Players will see their options for a pet, and most will pick the little girl. But if I throw a hormone drug in her face, she becomes a little boy. This presents the duality of a player base, pedophile or pederast. Look, this is a setting where the surface went extinct and got repopulated by a cosmic mushroom, whose only reference point for how biology works is Japanese Daojins. That's why everyone lays eggs, because he didn't know any better. Everything is an opaque, esoteric mechanism with poor documentation, which the community abuses and exploits until Noah figures out a hotfix or workaround for their shenanigans. This is ignoring the fact that half a game is designed to troll you. Tick an innocent menu option to auto pick up fish. Die instantly because you picked up a whale. Drink from a water source. Mutate horrifically. Play on permadeath. Slip on a banana peel in the Village of Atonement and lose everything. Get AIDS. Catching Ether disease is a natural part of gameplay and progresses if left untreated. How do you do that? By playing basketball. To cure your magically inflicted AIDS, you must become Michael Jordan.
I feel like, why does that go hard though? Like, why does the basketball section look like competent? That literally functions better and way smoother than modern games that I play. Like, that blows my mind.
Casino chips you earn can then be used for higher stakes gambling. This game is a constant gaslight.
Bread.
I came into this expecting fun. Now I'm paying tax and addicted to slot machines. I hope you didn't take an oath before starting your character, because the blackjack table is rigged. Save scum your way to the cure and live life as normal. There are alternatives, but that requires kidnapping little girls. Memes aside, what is this? It's single-player RuneScape with no level cap, and a crafting system that lets you recreate nearly everything you see.
Dude, I mean, like, RuneScape's leveling system, like RuneScape is fantastic. I'd go back and play it if I actually had people who actually played, right? I mean, old Kip used to stream a lot of RuneScape. Like, the progression is great. I feel like there just needs to be something else that kind of, and I think like Albion Online was a contender, right? But like think about like Final Fantasy 14 or like RuneScape, but think of them as like single player experiences. Even if you could just like host your own private servers and like even if it's just single player, right? And then you can like wipe the session, right? You can like Tarkov wipe status it. So like, hey, I'm gonna do this 1 month thing, and then it's like, well, I got to 99 fire making. I didn't quite make it to 99 wood cutting. But you can chronicle. I feel like there could be a lot of potential in a modular game like that. Like, it fascinates me because RuneScape kind of is the only thing that does RuneScape, and it kind of blows my mind.
Winter hot springs, beach resorts. You can even walk off ashore and build underwater. Everything builds into something, which can be dismantled to make everything else. Material alchemy is an art form, which lets us mine out entire dungeons and turn copper to cocaine. Nothing I say is an embellishment. I throw alcohol at my blue eyes white dragon, have sex with it, and end my turn.
Hyper intensifies.
Understanding esoteric systems by absorbing every wiki article as the bulk of your experience. You don't have to know Japanese, but they're more informative than the porn-sick groomers that make up this game's English community, which is why they're partitioned away in an apartheid state. First starting off, any race or class is viable, and the possibilities are endless.
You're a fat, ugly Polish whore, or you are, I don't know, Jewish person. You are a black person. You are a rapist.
A Wraith Executioner can use mana as a second health bar. Combine this with worshipping Itzpalt or Hiromi, and you have an infinite health bar. Chaos Shape Inquisitor lets you save scum for hours, and ask if it's truly worth it, as you enter the void and get soundballed repeatedly. Or, if you're a masochist, you can pick Snail Tourist and put on permadeath. Everything now costs twice as much, but the trade-off is that Salt kills you. My Jury Warrior isn't meta. Her perk is garbage, and ultimately, it doesn't matter, because I bring a small army wherever I go. Do not feel limited by your choices. With enough investment, you can make anything work. Your objective is always the same. Get stronger by getting richer.
Why do I feel like this is going to have a very similar... Was it Space Station 13 he reviewed? The funny clowns and the questionable... things that happen in the game. Why do I feel like this is going to have a very similar progression and community to Space Station 13? Just a hunch.
So you can get even stronger to get even richer. Material capital will fuel your physical sociopathy. There's an infinite number of ways to do this, and these are simply suggestions. Invite residents to work your land and perform jobs and hobbies, such as gaming, gambling, gacha, prostitution, and self-harm. Set up delegated farming and automate crop rotations for passive income. Grow honey, turn it into wine. Grow mushrooms, turn it into wine. Catch fish, turn it into wine. Get paid a salary because people want to visit. Not for my impressive displays, but because I've stolen incredibly expensive panties from different NPCs. The main way of getting stats is eating food. Thus, our only obstacle is our stomach. So, we apply the secret teenage girl technique of vomit maxing. We eat, we throw up, and then we eat even more. As we watch our
Okay, we're doing dog logic. Ugh.
maid pick up vomit like the peasant she is. It's hard to gauge these values. Luckily, there's a variety of graphical and gameplay mods to augment your experience. Automate tasks and replace sprites with the horniest coombait you've ever seen.
Amazing.
Mpreg Scott the Woz milking machine? Sign me up. On top
Yeah, this is part of why part of why I'm like, you know what, I'm not that big of a personality on the internet. I don't quite have to worry about that popping up in some random Steam Workshop entry. I don't have to worry about this being a Nexus mod entry.
top of this, the game itself has a lot of quality of life convenience. You can auto-dump your entire inventory, configure resource distributions, and even just Ctrl F to search for anything on the map. Everything is completely customizable. In my case, I've gone off a deep end and could no longer see what I'm doing. This is a game with problems and solutions, and dealing with the problems you cause along the way. Mass monsters are a special creature that multiply upon taking damage. There's a spawn limit of 20 monsters entering your base at any time. Taming a mass monster, putting it on the gallows, and sealing its offspring on a set of tiles 10 Z levels higher seemed like a great idea. Until I visited my base again, only to find out everyone is dead. It turns out, 2 of my NPCs are coded to teleport directly to enemies, causing them to split and spill into the base, where everyone is too weak to one-shot them.
Oh,
so they
no.
infinitely replicate until they fill the entire screen. Conversely,
Actually, like what? Star Trek Tribble logic? Oh no.
the final boss is too hard for me to kill. By pure chance, I loaded into some Japanese guy's base, which had residents who were level 250,000. They're so high level, they take 30 steps for each of mine, which they spent
Okay.
on gambling, drinking, vomiting, and passing out at high velocity.
That
I
makes
fed them
sense.
aphrodisiacs, and one of them laid an egg. Microwaving an egg has a chance of exploding, which is incredibly funny in the middle of an orphanage. Explosion strength is tied to quality, and this one is 2,773. I heat the egg, and one-shot Inos, my party, and myself.
I feel like that's a Japaneseism, though. I mean, coming from the TCG sphere, I mean, knowing things like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Card Fight Vanguard, Vaishvars, right? Like, different TCGs, like, the scaling is different. So, like, Magic the Gathering, right? You have, like, a 3/3 creature. Naruto, you had, like, the third Okage from set 25. That was, like, a 6/4. Sure, like, I guess that's a Japanese thing, but it was very much, like, how do I word it? Like, a simplified, right? For stat blocks. But things like Yu-Gi-Oh, where it's like Blue Eyes White Dragon has like 3,000 attack, right? 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense. Obelisk is a 4K body. They deal in the thousands. Card Fight Vanguard definitely has places in the thousands. So I'm trying to figure out, because it's come up multiple times. I'm trying to figure out where in game design theory, the Japanese market seems to favor larger numbers, because there's certain things that don't quite make sense, right? Like if you played Yu-Gi-Oh with like, I don't know, something doing like 40 damage, right? Like it doesn't quite make sense, right? Even go back to like Duelist Kingdom, where you had like weird things like Castle of Dark Illusions, right? Panic, that episode where it's like something does like 30, you end up being at like 732 life points or like 1936. Like they tried experimenting with that. It just feels strange, right? And there's got to be like a game design commentary on this, and I don't quite know what it is.
This might seem ridiculous, but the Japanese have already killed him with a beach ball and a banana peel. NPCs hold beach balls in their inventory when thrown at, and this one was modified by several thousand cursed scrolls of flying to weigh 10,000. So when Ino spawns in and charges, he slips in the banana peel and is crushed to death. The world is your autism playground. Join all the guilds, learn all the skills, whip pensioners on your cotton plantation. It's your fantasy. Now back to work, Cracker. I'm not here to tell you that unless you've got insanely high taming and throw love potions at a Spiral King deep in the void so you can feed that breast milk to a chicken, so you can genetically engineer him into the strongest creature in the game.
Why does this just make sense, though? Like, he's explaining this, and it just makes sense. I'm gonna buy this game.
That you haven't played the game. There's no win condition, only your creativity. So choose a goal, a direction, or a hyperfixation, and the rest is up to you. For as many turbo-level Japanese hypersweats at level 3 billion in the void, there's just as many who haven't even left their own base. So rest assured that no matter where you're at, there's some guy who spent his entire playthrough cultivating mushrooms, who has more money than the entire economy. In short, I love Elin. It's a very sweet, beautiful, and calming game that I can't help coming back to. The developer doesn't sleep. He pushes a new unstable build every night, and I wish him the very best. There's enough content for several hundred hours, and it just keeps getting better. I thoroughly recommend it. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. This video is dedicated to my ops, because I had a script ready after 50 hours, until I saw someone write a critical thesis about my Alona video, took it to heart, and played another free 50. It was only later brought to my attention that the man who affected me so is a barely literate weeaboo who paid thousands of dollars for his cringe OC to be put into the game.
Amazing.
He did all this so I could turn his waifu into a burger.
Oh my god, Seth, please. That is actually brilliant. Oh man, that was amazing. That story had a beginning, a middle, and an end. That is beautiful.
Warm thanks to the many members of a Merchants Guild generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're all truly wonderful. Have a good one.
What an amazing video. Yes, I'm gonna go buy this now. I'm gonna try to see. I'm gonna see about this. This is wild. The past few like videos that Seth has done, Path of Acra, Prey. Like I've went out and bought the videos. So don't let people tell you that marketing doesn't work, that influencing doesn't work, because it absolutely does. This looks wild. I mean, especially if it's Autism Simulator. I mean, I'm into that, right? Like, I come from RuneScape. Very, very formative years playing RuneScape and Pokemon, okay? I'm down with the tism. Not down with the sickness. That's another sometimes overlapping fan base. Like, what a banger video. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed this, and this was very pleasing to watch. It's really good to see whenever Seth uploads a new video, because, like, he brings a certain personality to it, right? Oh man, they're still going. Man is absolutely just goated with the swouse. I thoroughly enjoyed this, though, and if you have not watched the original yet, or if you haven't seen Seth before, I absolutely think that you should go ahead and watch him. Definitely go check it out in the description down below, as always. I made sure to... the model, I loved it. Definitely make sure to check out the original, especially if you have not. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have played this game. Let me know what you would expect of me playing this game. And I will see you all in the next.